Okay, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Frank Baumgartner, and I'm an ex-Marine doing this for this young lady.
Okay, thank you. When were you born?
Oh,
You don't have to say the year if you don't want
1948.
to. Where were you born?
Where was I born? In Cambridge. Cambridge, Mass.
When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Nothing much.
Nothing much?
No goals, no objectives.
Like you didn't want to be like an astronaut or anything?
No. Fireman, policeman, no.
No, none of that?
I was happy with what I was.
Oh. What was your first job?
My first job. Selling newspapers.
Selling newspapers. Like on a corner street?
All over.
Like?
I did train stations, house to house.
That's cool. How much education did you take part in before the war?
Before the war, before I enlisted, I had high school 12 years.
What were you doing before the war?
What was I doing? I was in school, high school.
School. So did you go like straight from high school?
Straight from high school service.
What made you want to take part in the Marines?
My friends were getting drafted, and they were losing good jobs and good cars and stuff. So I figured I'd join before that happened to me, and I figured the Marines are just as good as any other one.
Any other one? Yeah. That's what my grandpa did too. But what was it like living through the time leading up to the war?
I said it was my high school years, it was my party years, sweethearts, and whatnot.
What type of training did you have to do before deployment?
Before deployment from what? I mean, you have your basic boot camp that you go through.
Yeah, like that stuff.
And then you do your basic boot camp. It kind of builds you up, brainwashes you, teaches you the rights, not the wrongs. And then you go to what they call an infantry training, where you literally do a lot of shooting and familiar with different types of weapons and whatnot.
Like before wars and stuff, there's like usually a lot of propaganda and stuff to like make people enlist. Was there like any type of propaganda to make you like want to enlist into the Marines?
No.
What was your daily schedule like in Vietnam? Like if you had to sum it up.
Get up in the morning, have some breakfast, and hope you're not going out in the field. You just do what the orders were for the day.
Like, I know like during the war that there were certain code words like for things, but like I was wondering how did you like communicate with the Vietnamese if you had to?
Basic English and broken Vietnamese.
So did you have to like learn anything?
Everybody learns what you have to do to get by.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they learn all the bad words first, and stupid stuff. Like if you don't understand somebody, just tell him he's a little diggy doll. Or if he's really screwed up, you say, boo coo diggy doll. Boo coo means a lot, and diggy doll means you're kind of crazy.
Let's see. Like as a Marine, what was your basic job?
My MOS, which is military obligated services, was a 3531, which was the most transport operator.
So like, is that like driving a car?
No, it's like driving big trucks.
Oh, so like a tank?
No, not a tank. Tank is in a truck. I drive a truck that had a tank on it. We'll go pick up a tank or something broken down, a semi, anything with wheels over 2.5 ton. Transport trucks, 2.5 tons, 5 tons, 10 tons. I have a military license for 25 tons and in a semis, that's all.
So you said you were in the 9th Marines Division, right?
1st Battalion, 9th Marines.
Yeah. So when I was doing my research on this, like I saw that that specific group did like a lot of search and clear operations. Is that right? Like.
Yeah, over the years.
Yeah, like, can you explain what those are?
In the early years of Vietnam, when we got involved, basically it was a search and destroy. The main objective was to get some body kills,
Mm-hmm.
and which means the enemy, contact the enemy and destroy them.
So, like, oh wait. What is your best and worst memory from Vietnam? From being in Vietnam?
My best and worst?
You don't have to do worst if you don't want to.
I forgot the worst. Okay, I deal with the worst. And the best is when I went on leave to Bangkok. I went on R&R, which is rest and relaxation, for 5 days, which turned into be 10 days. And I got busted from it from an E3 to an E5 to an E5 to an E3 again, which was the rank.
So like
I came back from R&R. My CO gave me a promotion to E5, and then for being 5 days late, he took me to E5 and tore it up and said, "You're now in E3 again." So it was about a 5-minute promotion.
Like, what was your diet like during the war? Like, did they have you eating specific things or like?
No, it was just mess chow or some rations that you might have in the field with you, and you were liberal to go into town and get something.
During the war, did you write like any letters to anybody?
Oh yeah.
Like family and stuff, friends.
Oh, yeah.
You said like you went to Chow, Phu Bai, and Hue. What was it like there, and how was it different from here?
Chu Lai, Phu Bai, and Hue are basically some of the largest cities, and each city in Vietnam, if you kind of catch up on it, there's so many temples and places of prayer and worship and stuff, and it's like a minor city, say like Medford might be, but instead of all these single houses and whatnot, you have some pretty good sized buildings. It's pretty good developed, and what would go and search for the enemy, but for anything that's not right in the city.
A lot of people say that the Vietnam War was the war with the most victims of shell shock and like emotional breakdowns. Did you experience any types of like these psychological effects?
It's how they dealt with it. There was way outs for anything. So many of them turned to drugs, and instead of facing up to the reality of stuff, they hid behind it by doing drugs. And everybody had an excuse for not doing what they wanted to do or what they couldn't deal with. And as far as, I don't know, I basically did what I was told. I mean, the good times, they paid off good, and the bad times, I didn't appreciate doing what I was doing, but I had to do it.
What did it feel like coming home after being in Vietnam for such a long time?
It was a fiasco. I came home during the riots, and I mean, people were spitting on you, and I could wear my uniform
Really?
because of the abuse and whatnot. I lived outside of Harvard Square, so everything was a negative.
Why did people like look down upon the Vietnam soldiers?
Well, a lot of people say they're still baby killers. I mean, it was a political war, and they don't understand. They just pick up the faults that happened, all the bad news that they heard, and I say propaganda. I think it was a big part on the U.S. just as much as anybody else that was putting all the negatives out there. And the awareness factor wasn't there. The difference between then and now is the complete opposite. Now you have people coming back from the military, and the awareness is there, and they know what happened, they know what they did, and all of a sudden what the GIs did, and they all feel sorry for them. But back then nobody gave a crap. During Vietnam nobody cared. It was all political.
How did it feel like seeing your family and friends again for the first time?
Thank God I was able to.
What did you do like after you came back?
I didn't care much once I came back. The hair grew, different attitude. Felt like, nothing's gonna bother me now. I've been through the worst, so I could do just about anything.
Where's the clicker to the TV?
I don't know, we couldn't find it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what you did with it. I'm trying to shut it off.
Wait, what were we just talking? Oh, what did you do for like a job after it? Like, was it easy to find one or like?
Oh yeah, I always had a good time finding a job.
So like,
I always worked.
were they like basic jobs or like, were they like on and off jobs? Like, what would you say the jobs were when you kind of came back?
No, I had probably 3 jobs in my life, and I guess the longest one was about 13 years. So I've worked maybe 12 years here, 12 years there, 13 years out of the 3 jobs, basically in the food service department.
When you came back, did you ever miss it? Like, did you ever miss being with everyone and like doing what you had to do and stuff?
Of course. I mean, once you get on the boat or the plane to disembark to go any place, you kind of miss when you leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's those things that you're leaving that's going to get you to come back too. So.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people believe that the American involvement in Vietnam wasn't necessary. What are your opinions towards that?
It was a political war, but once you're out in the field and you see what actually happens, I mean, when you see the destruction of, be it body parts flying here and there, people getting shot and killed, I mean, that kind of builds up a defensive mechanism where you say, well, it's not going to be me. And when you see a fellow companion go down, well, you grab him by the arm, there's no arm, and that's all the more reason to continue to do what you're doing. You don't think about what kind of war it is, you don't think about what's what, you just think about this guy's out there that's going to kill me. And that's it.
When you say that it's a political war, what do you mean?
Politics. It was all politics. Money, greed, and everything else. Excuse me.
It's okay. Do you need like a tissue or anything?
Yeah. This is when the bad memories come back, see?
Do you need water or anything? No.
face it, you do things because you're ordered to do, and you do the best of your ability.
Mm.
And it's just, like I say, you don't do it so you get killed. You don't do it so you become dependent on anything. You just do it because you have to do it. That's one of the reasons why.
Are you proud to be a veteran?
Yeah.
Are you still in touch with any of your friends from the war?
I go to the Marine Corps birthday once in a while. They have a ball.
What was the significance of the Vietnam War in your opinion?
I don't know, when I got there, it was just retaliation. I felt that it was just retaliation for all the bad that they did to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't say us as a country, I say us two individuals. And it was different than what the press always released. The press said this and that, but I mean, meanwhile you have 5-year-olds walking up to your truck with explosives and blowing up a truck full of GIs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those parts you never hear of and stuff. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, females doing a bunch of stuff. I mean, you go on patrol and you see gutted out GIs hanging from trees that were captured and stuff. I mean, POWs you never see. And all the different body parts and booby traps. And I mean, it was a warfare that wasn't done right. It was jungle warfare. I mean, yeah.
Do you think that being in the war helps you understand how like soldiers in Afghanistan feel today and stuff?
We kind of joke around, and we say I shot more shells on the rifle range than they shot in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean it's kind of bad to say, but I mean it's a different warfare.
Yeah, like a different time and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean you have these towns where they have snipers and stuff. I mean we had the jungle, we had the cities, and it was entirely different. And I mean I take my hat off to every veteran.
Mm-hmm.